Hello, listener, and welcome to Tim Portalers, the show where we jump around to a whole bunch of different games and systems and hopefully do so in a somewhat coherent manner. Anyway, I am Seth. I am writer and game master. With me I have...
I am David, and I like snow.
I'm Rachel, and I don't like the cold. I like snow, just not the cold.
And I'm Kyle, and I miss the sunshine right now because it's been cloudy and cold and luckily not snowy, but yeah.
How do you feel about snow?
Snow? It's okay to look at from inside when you're reading a nice book or playing a board game.
Pretty.
It's like powdered sugar.
So, I guess now that we know how we all feel about snow...
Well, how do you feel about snow?
It's okay. I used to be rather enamored with it when, I lived where it never snowed.
Right.
But now it snows from time to time and it's bothersome on the roads. So, meh. I'm over it.
Okay. Well, you are.
And I don't ski or nothing, so... So, when last we left our heroes, they were not in the snow. They were back in Yatamu Lodge, back in some sort of confines of safety in their... kind of interdimensional home that seems to exist partially, at least in most places. Maybe, who knows what the rules are anymore, because there was this long period of quiet where nobody could come or go from the lodge. But now the three of you have ventured into a couple of places thus far. The World of Space 1889 and that of Legend of the Five Rings, and you have since returned from both. Coming back from Rokugan, Legend of the Five Rings system, it was decided that things had gone poorly when your combat instructor had attempted to accompany you. He had somehow had his course diverted and did not emerge in Rokugan with the rest of you, but was instead immediately captured, and not too nice of things happened to him while he was under the captivity of one Veral, who was seemingly referred to by the rest of these brigands in the land of Rokugan, the Okita League, by the title of Wakened. And you have come back to Yatamu Lodge after a kind of Pyrrhic victory that saw a number of probably non-innocent and innocent individuals who had succumbed to some sort of mind control, summarily slaughtered by those who had not been mind controlled, and a giant beastie from another realm. One of the fallen was a friend of yours, or at least an acquaintance, Jikedan, who had helped you part of the way, at least in your adventures in Rokugan. And young Hideyoshi had encountered a young boy who was seemingly his half-brother, which seemed to indicate that his father had spent some time here at some point in Rokugan and was since deceased, it seemed. There was at least a gravestone of some kind, and a grave, it seemed. But having returned to the lodge after everything that went down in Rokugan, probably a lot longer than anybody was anticipating during Rokugan. But you had come back to the lodge. Mudagatal, your combat instructor, whom you had recovered, returned with you, along with no supplies for the lodge. And it was now seeming as though your next destination is the world of Shadowrun, which is this tech and magic-infused Earth-like place, and...
It's very urban.
Very urban. A lot of...
Cyberpunk.
Urban. And... yeah, cyberpunk, urban, yeah, whatever. Anyway. and seemingly the individual going to be accompanying you this time is Sahin's sister,
I'm so excited.
Kisma,
So excited.
who has seemingly some sort of connection with this visor that you had recovered from another mysterious figure.
Yeah, she wasn't good at keeping that secret.
From a certain point of view.
But yes, seemingly Nuzang and Mudarkatal and your superiors here at the lodge were aware of the fact that she had this visor and that she was somehow using it to see into this other world, and they seem to believe that there is a way that this can be harnessed to actually bring you into this world and hopefully continue in your search of figuring out what has caused the quiet, seemingly seeing if you can find a way to hopefully end it and allow free passage back and forth from the lodge for people who are doing important business around the different realms, and hopefully find some other way to shore up the structural integrity of the lodge, bringing back something. And so you were set about, when last we left off, you were meant to begin your studies and training and how to properly just fall into the slipstream of the world this time without standing out in any way. And so
Roll my eyes at that.
you have had ample amount of time at this point, as much as your instructors feel is prudent and advisable, and given the fact that you don't know what sort of time frame you're dealing with, because as they have stated, they're pretty sure you're at war now with whoever this other faction is. And yes, you've been reading since. So as everybody got their Genesis sheets.
Yeah, boys. And girls. In case listener, yeah.
Dear listener, we don't judge, but Kyle does.
Wow.
Ow. I'm into the bus right now. Yeah.
So for each of you, what is it you are most intently studying when it comes to trying to familiarize yourself with the world of Shadowrun?
Do you want us to look at our Genesis sheet? Or
Just what is your character most interested in studying about this world?
Probably how to blend in and take on any appearance necessary to
All right.
blend in.
Go ahead and make a stealth check then.
Okay.
For listener, we're back in Genesis, which means an average stealth check is going to be 2 difficulty die, along with whatever the character's rating in stealth is, which is a combination of their agility stat plus their ranks in stealth.
Yes, I am figuring that out now. I have stealth as an agility based, so I have 4 agility and 2 ranks in stealth, which means I will roll 2 yellow and 2 green.
Yes, because for listener and players, when you have a rank in a certain skill, it upgrades your green die to a yellow. And
Wherever
yellow,
they overlap.
yes.
So,
Green
Alright.
die being ability dice, and the yellow being proficiency.
average, so 2 purple. 1 success, 3 advantage.
All right. As you had the world adequately described to you, you hope, and you have whatever writings are available in the lodge to look over, you feel as though you should be reasonably competent in blending into your surroundings when you're in this strange urban environment. Rather unfamiliar to you at this point. You have yet to encounter something like this, but it seems doable. There are a lot of shady corners to hide.
Good.
It's like a world that was made perfectly for Sakine. Well, if Mr. David, who's posing as the thinker right now, doesn't have anything, knowing how, reflecting back on previous adventures of past, Memphis had a few, in the Legends of the Five Rings, instances where he was compromised and lost all sense of discipline and order and focus.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try to center himself and work on his discipline of just keeping his mind focused. He's also slightly akimbo, like, words, English is hard sometimes. He's slightly also dealing with the whole realization of how much Nusan has changed, and realizing that if he's going to war, even though how scary that is, telling himself that Nusan now is going to be having to take care of the 3 younger siblings, and if he's, just making sure that he also has to be, Nusan's all ready for that, and knowing that responsibility, kind of being the overseer of that family unit while he's gone. So yeah, working on discipline is what I'll be doing.
Go ahead and make a discipline check. So you're not really studying something about the world of Shadowrun. You're more so coming to grips.
myself.
Yeah.
With, do a little bit of
a soldier.
Right. Yeah. Coming up with focusing on that, but also obviously doing some sort of maybe not as heavy as Sakine or Hideyoshi is, but I'm going to look into that a little bit. But focusing more on mentally preparing himself. This comes out to be. Whee! Wow. Okay. 1 threat, but 2 threat, but 5 success.
Okay. You take 2 strain as you have a few moments of existential crisis as you want to worry about. Okay, what if if I die in the other worlds? Is that permanent here?
That's deep.
Yeah, and that's honestly out of game. That was one of my most moments in the Chronicles of Narnia. There's a moment I think in the last battle where where they
wait, should I be plugging my ears? Since sorry, listener, I haven't read the Chronicles of Narnia, so should I plug my ears?
It's not really a spoiler, but the characters are basically talking about how if we die in Narnia, do we die in our world? Is like how does that work? And as a kid reading that, it was just like, wait, they're talking about death. What? What? Anyway. So as you've had some time coming to grips with everything, and if you ever approach Nusan about this, he just does an angsty hair flip, a la Spider-Man 3, and just I did this. We don't talk about that. You're feeling accepting of the situation as it is coming to you, but still not entirely at peace with what would become of your family should something happen to you.
Don't mean to postpone Hideyoshi's thing, but really quick, is there any records or should I talk to any of the instructors about what happens since I did the Hey, Siri, I'm not talking to you.
I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
Right, yeah. There's no Siri instructor in the lodge.
What is a 10 portaler?
Right, yeah. Subscribe now, dear listener, which you already have, hopefully. Anyway, they go find out, since you did pose that and you kind of scared me with your lore dump there, GM, if there's any, if I can talk to an instructor or anything about that, hey, deep question, if I were to pass in said world, what would happen? Would I die?
The response you get probably depends on who you're talking to. So are you talking to the chief instructor Muzang? Are you talking to combat instructor Mudarkatel? Or are you talking to the man at the desk, Thanopicus?
Well, knowing the man at the desk would probably package it in a little softer tone. Oh, no. Since I just went on a mission with Mudarkatel, I'll ask Mudarkatel, even though he did not believe in Jeremy. Mm-hmm. So.
Alright, as you approach Mudarkatel, his... one set of arms folded, one kind of stroking his chin as he's looking over important intel about the world you're going to. He's trying to brush up on your various combat skills to keep you in prime condition for that sort of setting. And you approach and make your query, and he studies you for a moment and just... So, technically... we only actually exist here.
Okay.
However, if if you have gone to another world, and you should meet your demise,
Yeah.
well, you're not dead exactly, but I believe certain religions of various realms refer to it as a sort of limbo.
Oh. Okay. That doesn't sound fun either, but
I have yet to experience it myself, and it does seem as though there is means of recovery at that point. That is not my area of expertise, however.
out of curiosity, has any of the people here actually experienced it? I can ask what it's all about, or
Those handful who had expired in their various missions, well, any of those have since been recovered and had set out once more following
I see.
before the quiet. So
We don't know what happens then. Well, they know, but they're not here to share what happens.
no.
Okay, well, thanks at least for the little bit of information that you have imparted, at least. I'll let you go back to that. I'm going to go think and ponder and... Yeah, alright. Thanks.
Nods and seems to consider, did he just do more harm than good, but he's got more important things to worry
Right.
about, so...
Alright. I'll go back to my little wherever I was doing my disciplining and working my discipline / hang out with the fam.
Home.
Home. Yep. Deep breathing.
It's a stereotypical chant. Anyway.
So Hideyoshi is a bit disappointed by the way that he was unable to bring back any of the supplies that he laboriously gathered. And he's also having some moments of reflection where he's just like, I could be a lizard again. No. So he is probably focusing on maintaining his idea of what he wants to go in both directions.
Okay.
Maintaining himself going out and maintaining himself and his stuff coming back.
Okay, so you're following the motivational speaker thing. Just gotta visualize your success and just realize it, man. Yeah, okay.
Pulling up a whole bunch of motivational videos.
Just
Do it! Yes, you can. Yes, go. You also go ahead and roll for discipline.
Okay, that is cocked. Alrighty. Fantastic. One advantage.
Cool.
good to know that you're still at it.
Dear listener, I am not lucky.
Well, we'll see. So, as you all have gone about your various pursuits, a few day cycles pass here in the lodge, and you get to reacquaint yourself with your more familiar surroundings and the things that shift in their form in response to your mental commands and even whims sometimes. But there is definitely the weight to things now, in both weight as in waiting for something and weight as in, oh, this is heavy.
I see what you did
Yes.
there.
But yeah, you are aware that you will have to venture forth once again. Gather your party and venture forth. And yeah, you are realizing what that means and entails at this point, more so, having already set out on previous adventures. And eventually, Kizma, looking through her visor and trying to pinpoint, hopefully, the place where you will be emerging into this other world, seems to have presented her findings to your instructors, and you were all brought in at one point to Nuzang's office, and Kizma relays to all of you. So, I think that I think that we're going to London.
Sounds like a magical place.
Yeah. Everyone talks a little funny, but seems interesting. And
I pull out a British accent because I've been practicing. But Rachel herself cannot do a
no,
British
let's hear
accent.
it.
No, yeah.
No.
Well, blimey!
No.
What have we watched all the Red Dwarf and Doctor Who for if you're not gonna?
I can't just pull it out.
All right.
Insert Rachel's, British accent here.
But Kizma further relates that you all were talking about some kind of wakened.
Yeah.
So there's apparently an entire organization called Wakened here in London where we're going.
Are they
So.
like... Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Just some strangeness going on, and that's the best lead I have, I think, at this point. But obviously, we know that whoever we're up against had gone to this world before because she motions to the visor.
Out of curiosity, Kizma, do you happen to know what type of organization the Waken are?
Well, they appear to have a lot of property somehow. I'm not really sure how that works. Which, having grown up in the Lodger Hall,
Right.
she really doesn't have a concept
What
of
is property?
property.
Oh, dirt? What?
Interesting, though. Thank you for that information.
Apparently, from the surveillance is all I have to go on, but there's some island off the coast that they apparently have secured. Belongs to them, I think. And everybody seems to think it's weird that the island wasn't there before.
Okay.
Wait, a whole island appeared out of nowhere?
She kind of looks around. Does that not happen?
Well, I mean,
From what little schooling I actually attended.
It seems abnormal for the type of world that we're going into.
Yeah,
Some worlds is probably pretty normal, but not this one.
most of all the worlds we've been to at this point, which I guess there's only 2. Yeah, everything felt so solid and permanent. It was really weird.
So things not moving around is normal.
Seems to be.
did this island, since I'm part druid, does this island... Have we already figured out, if our characters during our downtime and whatnot, figured out, like, okay, technology and magic in this world are...
Yeah.
So, is this like a magical island then? Since obviously geological formations cannot make something that quickly.
I think so.
Okay.
It's called Lioness? Leonessi?
So, this island of Lionessi is next to the city of London.
But across, big water, not...
Okay.
Apparently it's close, though.
Okay.
She's basically, somebody who's lived their life in a dark cave
Right.
trying to explain the outside world. It's like that story of somebody seeing only the shadows of the people who are passing by and trying to describe things.
Plato's Cave.
Yes.
Okay, that's what that was. I couldn't quite remember.
Welcome to
Interesting.
10 Portalers, where we cross Arthurian legend with Plato's Cave.
And cyberpunk.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Crossing all streams.
Cross all the streams.
But Nuzang has been listening through all of this and just nods and... Well then, as soon as all of you are ready, we should see if you are able to depart and then do so.
Okay. Not directly in-game in this moment, but I had a thought. Did we discuss they have also materials to study on this world? Like, because they,
Here in
like,
the
other
lodge.
agents have been to
Yeah.
Shadowrun?
Mhm.
Okay, so we have more than just Kizma.
Yeah, you have intel on this world.
Okay.
Nice.
I thought so, but I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
But it's old intel, but it still checks out.
I was about to clear them.
Right.
This is where the fun begins.
That's right. We'll just run in the shadows casual.
Don't get cocky. References. Anyway.
Any other references then? No.
I'm good.
Alright.
Another happy landing.
Oh. That's well. Don't worry. We still have half of the session to go. So.
Not to worry, we are still flying half the session.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, all right. We gotta stop.
Dear listener, I apologize for my teammates.
We're like Star Wars, okay?
So sorry.
So, but you're all you have been given ample time to prepare.
Yep.
Or at least what your instructors feel is ample time, but they're beginning to, after a few days, kind of start nudging, be like, nah,
You gotta get going.
It's only been 3 days? I feel like it's been 2 months.
yeah. Funny that.
Reference. But
So basically, do you guys have anything else you wish to do to prepare or read up on?
I do want to ask one question of... I'll say Thanauticus because he seems handy and like he knows things.
Yeah.
Um,
At one point, you head to the front desk, and he's adjusting his spectacles. You don't even know if he needs those, but it's the human man. Just, yeah.
I have a random question.
Yeah.
So, I know that objects have a certain home realm, more or less.
In what capacity are you referring?
Like, for example, bringing the katana that I had to the world of Venus.
Yes.
It didn't like it there. It didn't belong there. It felt off.
It was out of sequence.
Yes. Would items from one world that are similar in nature to another world feel at home and be in sequence in that other world?
Ooh. I believe there is some sort of precedent for that, at least, and if there are typically enough similarities between two worlds indicate a similar wavelength across the spectrum, if that makes any sense. Are you familiar with the multiverse theory in the respect that everything vibrates at a different frequency?
I am quite confident that I was in that class, but you might want to give me a refresher.
Philosophically speaking, it is what more heady people would describe as things reflecting each other or being shadows. It indicates that there is some overlap, at least, between realities, if they are similar to a great degree.
Okay.
Whether or not an object would easily exist in both, or neither, or one at a time, that depends more so on the object and its place within each world.
Interesting. Okay.
The sword you have possessed, however briefly, that seems to be infused with some sort of entity from Rokugan.
Yes.
That it was very specifically belonging to that world.
Okay. That is useful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Had it been an average sword, you would likely have been fine. No one would have missed it.
I will keep that in mind.
And the sword would not have missed its home.
In a way, I'm glad that it did.
I see.
Give him a wave and
Yeah.
head back to my room. And while I'm in my room, from the Dark Elf lady, I recovered a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to bring the shotgun with me.
Cool.
Because I believe that there are shotguns in London. All over the place.
Any London.
Yep. Pick a London. There's a shotgun there.
I'm also gonna. I think I also would like to talk to Thanauticus.
All right.
I'm gonna. While I'm talking to him, I'm gonna, of course, shove something that's not usually in his reading pile
Like you do.
like you do. But he seems to be the one who's seen most, or at least a lot, of the comings and goings of field agents as they. So I'm might be a little metagaming, but I think that I would be curious about what happens if somebody dies outside the lodge, considering we ran into a half-brother of Hideyoshi's in Rokugan. I would, explain that and just be like really morbidly, like, what would happen to me if I died and we were not here?
Put simply and hopefully at least somewhat delicately, the reconstitution process is unpleasant.
Wait, reconstitution process?
Yes.
Out of this conversation, do they talk about it in any of the schooling?
No, that's the fine print.
Got it. Okay.
And
So
we didn't
this
read
is the
all
first time I'm hearing any of this kind of talk about reconstitution process.
And the person who has even more reason to know this information didn't even occur to him to ask. Ah! Carry on.
So,
Okay. You're gonna not put this delicately for me. For once, I actually want to learn this.
whoa, very well.
So he wants to learn.
In my time as the man at the desk, there have been a handful of incidents where our operatives have met an untimely end in the field. However, they can be recovered, or at least could be. Whether or not the process is still viable is unknown to us. How do I describe this? There's a sort of interdimensional crawl space where one who is attuned to the lodge reverts if they are deconstituted. However, if any of our operatives have returned to this place, we have been unable to locate them during the quiet. It has been our hope that this means that they are all still alive and well, wherever they are. But we cannot know for certain.
Stop winking at me, David!
Given Mudarkatal's report from your time in Rokugan, it seems we should have been able to locate Hideyoshi's father there. But we never have.
Like, never? He's never been to Rokugan?
Well, firstly, we didn't know he was in Rokugan, but if he did meet his demise there, he didn't return to the in-between.
But have you been fully briefed on everything? Or do you get
I believe
fully
so.
briefed? Okay. Because if whatever this enemy is that we are up against, that speculating here might have caused our quiet, if they can take Mudarkatal and reroute him somewhere else in the world we're traveling to.
He nods as he sees where you're going with this.
They can probably trap
Yes.
us elsewhere.
The thought had occurred to me.
Oh, that's nasty. Okay. But that's all there is to this reconstitution process?
That is all that is relevant.
I squint at him. I'm going out there, I want to understand what's at stake. Also, I'd like to know if my family is seemingly the same way that Hideyoshi's father is, I want to know if there's a way to get them back.
We hope that there is. But if we cannot even retrieve them when they have been deconstituted, well, it would be unpleasant, as I said, but I'll wager better than whatever alternative they might be facing.
Yeah. And Thanaticus would see a very determined look appear on my face as I'm just like need to find out who these people are and want their families dead.
I want him dead. I want his family dead.
And to Sada on your couch. But
Yes.
And then at some point during this conversation, I might have forgotten about it with the reconstitution bit, but then I would have gotten back on my game of trying to shove a few books in his stack.
Okay.
As I'm leaving, probably.
Yep.
So is this a stealth?
He's rolling perception.
Oh, okay.
You can roll against if you wish, I suppose.
Okay.
So
I'll just remove the negative dice from what I rolled last time. Do you want me to roll negative dice? Does it matter?
Sure, in this case, yes, because he's already rolled the positive.
Okay, so my yellows would be reds, my
Correct.
greens would be purples.
For players and listener, when you are rolling against somebody in that capacity, your challenge dice, or your proficiency dice become challenge dice. So yellow to red, your ability becomes difficulty, so green to purple.
Alright, 2 failure, 4 threat.
Okay. You feel as though you've been super sneaky and just slipped the things in, and he's totally didn't notice, but as you look back over your shoulder, he's kind of peering out of the corner of his eye at his stack of books that's slightly teetering.
And then if he looks my way, I'll wink. Cheekily.
He just nods. Continues
It's our
to
thing.
gets back to his book.
Oh, that rascally old Saheen. That's where
It's a classic Saheen and Thanaticus mess around.
Classic.
Oh, wow.
All right.
I feel sorry for Thanaticus because I also...
Cycling through. Yes, you wish to speak to the man at the desk.
Well, I mean, I'd rather speak to you, Thanaticus, than the man at the desk, but if you want to refer to yourself that way. Actually...
What do you want, Memphis?
Since you have done a lot of reading, have you heard of this? I sadly did not write the island name in my notes, but that the weekend...
Lioness.
Lioness.
Lyonesse.
Lyonsse.
Yes.
There are 2 ends.
There are 2 ends. There are 2 ends!
Yes.
Is the name... Sorry that you peek into my note taking there. All right, there. But ask him if he's read anything about this island.
Oh, yes, that pops up from time to time in various realms.
Wait, what?
Honestly, it appears to have something in common with the lodge itself, in that it, vanishes in one realm only to pop up in another.
Whoa. Wow. So if... I'm sorry, were you in the meeting that we just had not that long ago?
I was not.
You were not? Oh, okay. So it turns out, do you know about our previous adventures?
I do.
Okay. So it turns out, evil guy that was holding Murdarkatal hostage,
Yes.
the Awakened guy, is actually part of an organization in this world called, that we're going to, apparently it's called Lomdon. And apparently the Awakened own this island that's off the coast of Lomdon, this island of Lanessa. And if they have control of that, not saying that everyone from the Awakened are evil, because, goodness knows we don't need any more stereotypes, but if this corporation owns that, and if they can, who knows, harass, boy. Sorry, a lot's going on in my head right now. Harness the power of the island. Could they use that to travel between the realms much like we do? Or?
Quite possibly, but you are exhibiting at least 3 degrees of supposition.
What?
Firstly, have you considered the fact that wakened is in fact a word?
Yes.
A not altogether uncommon one.
Right.
Secondly, have you considered that in this world that you have doubtlessly been reading up on, as have I, that
Yes, I've been reading up on it. Yeah.
Yes, there are in fact individuals in this world who are considered to be awakened.
I think I see where you're going now. All right, but number 3 though is.
Thirdly, if this is in fact an organization affiliated with our probable enemy, and if they are in fact in control of this island, perhaps they would be using it to some sort of traversal, or perhaps they merely wish to harness some kind of energy for an as yet unknown purpose.
Wow.
This is in fact a world of magic and technology, yes?
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, wow. That really puts things into perspective. Okay. Because considering what Mr. Evil Awakened guy did in the other world with mind controlling, who knows what they could do with the whole, oh boy. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Thanaticus, man at the desk. Yeah. I'll have to think about that. Okay. Thank you. Good luck with your reading.
And good luck with yours.
Yeah.
He looks to you pointedly like,
I gotta
you
get a little
should
closer.
be reading about this.
Any quick cliff notes that you would recommend reading?
I can provide you with the appropriate literature.
Sure. Should I come back in a little bit and grab those then, or you have
No, I have them available.
Oh, okay. You are the man behind the desk. Yeah. Thank you, Thanaticus.
Reaches for the volumes he has on Shadowrun, the world of Shadowrun, and basically supplies them for you. And
I'll go.
be sure to pass them along to your compatriots.
Oh, certainly. I'll peruse them and pass them along. Thank you. Is there more copies that I can maybe go pass along to everyone else?
We have numerous copies.
Oh, all right. Can I have 2 more copies then? Of each? Or, yeah, you're behind the desk. You're not the man behind in the library. I'll go take care of that.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and go to the library, grab 2 more copies, then disperse those to my compatriots. I don't know if they already read it or not,
Of course not.
but
I might have.
I actually just was, very, very uncharacteristically for Zaheen, I was planning to actually be in the library looking for literature on
no.
death and reconstitution.
Ooh.
Like the part of the library that looks like it's like what I'm looking for is since it doesn't seem like they necessarily want to be educating us on this, it needs to be in a part that's probably they want it to look normal. but it's not really used
One
per
might say the
se.
restricted section.
Yeah, but they probably don't want the draw of restricted on it, right?
Not with you around.
Yeah.
Smart.
No. What they should do is they should just restrict the entire library, and Sahin will be there every day.
That's your most ingenious plan.
The library is off limits. Watch me.
Oh, we
I
have
am
you.
there. I am the knight.
Make a hard perception check first of all.
Okay.
So do I wander in while she's just like
Sure.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I do though take a moment to pause. Obviously, I don't know how sneaky I am, but just to enjoy this moment of actually seeing Sahin. I don't know what she's looking for, but actively perusing the library.
No! No!
Probably slightly in shock.
1 failure, 1 advantage.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking again, if at all possible.
Okay. You're not finding any sort of specific section that's standing out to you.
I feel like it's like it's probably not quite this, but what's coming to mind is Kronk. Yeah, like stealthing around the library. And if anybody comes upon me in the library that I notice, it's just like, no, it's cool, man. Like I'm actually like,
Oh great, Sahin has her own theme music now.
So just go ahead and you're making an opposed astrocartography check.
Boom!
With a boost, because you got a...
Wait. What? Okay, hold up.
So you're not
Like a
finding
skill.
any... Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dear listener, that is a skill that uses intelligence,
Intellect.
which is also intelligence.
Okay, so hold up. This is to find it?
Yep.
Okay.
Basically, you were looking for the proper section to see if that would give you any sort of guidance, but now you're just tearing through the library at this point.
So, but I get a boost. Okay.
And you're making an opposed check, so don't roll any negative.
Yeah, no, I know. 1 success, 3 advantage?
Okay. The closest thing you are able to find are volumes that seem to relate to like interdimensional travel complications.
I pick up a copy and go back to my room.
Okay.
Actually, Sahin.
I have my nose in the book, and I don't hear a thing.
Wow. What has come over her?
She really is a funny girl.
That's Sahin. I just probably...
Does it tell me anything useful? I'm gonna...
She goes. Okay. Yeah, you head back to your room with your book. You start flipping through it. It seems to detail kind of some things you've already come across in probably opening doors that were not naturally formed to pass through realms. As you may recall, you recently used a sword to just kind of cut your way through the fabric of reality.
Yep.
And apparently there's a fair amount of potential pitfalls that go with that. So, including possibly getting stuck in between and kind of getting into the crawl space, as Thanauticus had dubbed it. And
Interdimensional crawl space.
yeah, but it doesn't really go into any sort of detail about it. And
Okay, I'm gonna... if I get another chance once I finish this book, I'm gonna go back to where this book was. I'm gonna look again.
Okay, what's Memphis been up to?
Well, probably stood there for a good 5 minutes in shock, seeing Sahin look in the library, him trying to talk to Sahin, her actively reading, walking out of said library. Eventually gets his wits about him and go grabs 2 more copies of said books. Also looks, just out of curiosity, in the areas that Sahin was looking just to see. I don't know what all those subjects are. But
I was
kinda,
also being a little bit, what's the word? Obscuring about what I was looking for as well.
Dissembling.
So yeah, you kind of head over to that area. It's like, travel
recipes, what?
just like the general travel section in the Dewey Decimal System or whatever they have here.
Right, yeah. But anyway, go grab 2 copies of that. Go first to Hideyoshi's room. Knock. And Hideyoshi, are you in?
Yes.
I got some literature.
Scratch.
The
Come
very
in.
delayed reaction
Right.
from Thalos.
Sorry, I forgot you had a guard dog. Go ahead and enter. How is he doing, by the way?
Old.
Aw. And I'll go down and kind of scratch his ear and whatnot if he lets me. I don't know. But all that. And by the way, the Nauticus had some ideas on what we should read about. I got a copy or copies. I don't know how many books he gave me. But give those to Hideyoshi. And also, I saw the most amazing sight ever. Saheen was in the library.
Oh.
And I tried to talk to her. She was reading a book and did not listen whatsoever. Is she okay?
It was Saheen with a book in the library.
Do any of the other members of Yatamu Lodge have the ability to shapeshift or disguise themselves? I know we've got our Nuzang is werewolf.
Is a werewolf.
And
but
Cressedia,
Cressedia is a gnome.
her features are constantly shifting around.
Yes. She's getting to that age of like almost retirement age where basically she just kind of disperses.
Gotcha.
And not too good at holding a particular form at this point, but it's nothing really deliberate.
And none of the younger folks have that ability.
Reggie Harkins appeared to have some form of like his form is
Still trying to figure
kind of
something out.
shifting everywhere, every which way, but nobody really seems to know if he has any control over that, including Reggie.
I don't suppose you actually saw Reggie.
I
Because
mean,
he's having some trouble controlling his form, right?
true.
And he reads,
And it would be kind of weird to see Saheen in the library because that's not Saheen at all.
right?
Right.
I bet it was probably just Reggie. He's probably like subconsciously imitating someone that he saw. And okay, so we'll.
So wait a minute. If he's subconsciously doing that, are him and Saheen like, an item?
This is how rumors get started.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to investigate
We
this.
will.
We're gonna have to ask everybody but the two of them.
True. That's how. I haven't read that many great mystery novels, but
Well, I've been watching this British comedy show. That's what we do.
oh, does it also take place in London?
This one takes place in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Weird. Okay.
Oh no.
No.
You started it.
Maybe
You
Nautilus,
started
since
it.
he's read a lot, maybe he would be like a good detective that we should get in on this case.
I think so. We'll
Alright.
have to keep an eye on the two of them.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, well, enjoy your reading.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My spidey sense is tingling. I'm not going to go anywhere near Reggie Harkins.
Well, anyway, good reading. Then I'll go ahead and make my way to Saheen's room.
Okay.
Knock. Saheen, are you in there?
It takes 2+ minutes for you to hear anything, and it's just this strangled. Yeah, what?
Alright. Can I come in?
Nah.
I'll very slowly open the door and see if I get any yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, so
I could quite tell
it's not just my room that's off, because Kizma and I share a central space and have our rooms off of that, or how
Is
does
that where we landed?
I don't know.
I remember
so-
you these things shift about here at the lodge. So
Oh, okay.
Depends on how well you're getting along.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So when I came back, they were together, and now since I might have made her a little. I'm gonna have to spend a lot more time with her. Maybe it's just it shifted so it's separate. I like that. Okay. So yeah.
So anyway, Saheen, I'll poke my head in since I haven't heard anything no, go away or anything like that.
I'm waiting.
I kind of do a good look over to make sure it's not Reggie and actually Saheen. Right, yeah. And I guess probably it takes me a few moments to kind of I know that's Saheen. And if it's Reggie, I'll roll with it. And then maybe he will reveal that this person is Reggie. But anyway, so I'll go enter and just say, Saheen, I brought you some more books that Thanaticus mentioned that might be good to read for this world called Shadowrun in London. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your reading right now,
just
but
put them there, and I don't gesture to anything particular.
I'll go manifest a table in the middle of the room and flatten it in, and also take a good look at what Sahin's reading.
Okay.
It's down, like covered down on the bed, so all you're seeing is any text.
I don't know if I can see anything. I'll do
Appears
that.
to be about some sort of travel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess enjoy your reading, Sahin.
I give you a thumbs up, and don't pay attention to anything more.
See you later, Sahin. I'm making sure to say Sahin a lot to make sure it's actually a Sahin, otherwise I might get a weird reaction from Reggie, but... Okay, enjoy! Close the door and run back to Hideyoshi's room. Hideyoshi! Hideyoshi! Hideyoshi!
Yes.
And how long before I finish the, like, I at the point where I'm not
Right after
finding
this.
anything, okay.
Yes.
And then
What is this?
I leave my room to go
Okay.
look again.
It was Sahin. She was reading in her room, and I said Sahin like 3 billion times to make sure that if it was Reggie, obviously Reggie's not nowhere close to Sahin, and so Sahin was reading. It's the way. Oh gosh, did we come back with the real Sahin, or did we come back with somebody else? Should we go tell Nuzang? This is weird. I don't know what to do.
Let's keep it on the down low for now.
Okay.
But keep an eye on her.
I'm
Right.
loving that this is starting a conspiracy.
We might, as well keep
imposter.
we might as well still keep an eye on Reggie, too.
True. Maybe they're both in on it.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. It's weird. Alright, I'm gonna go read. Much like Sahin's doing, oddly. But alright. Bye, Hideyoshi, and I'll head back to my room and read, and then also hang out with the Sims.
As you're heading out from Hideyoshi's room, you actually see passing by in the halls the flickering form of Reggie. Hi, Memphis.
Hi, Reggie. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah? You look great.
Yeah?
Have you been... Yeah.
Kind of looks down to his hands with shifting color and
How
form.
do you do that, by the way?
I don't know.
Cool. By the way, have you read everything in the library?
No?
No?
Why, did they get new books?
I mean, if they did, that would be pretty cool. It means somebody came back around. Or actually, gosh, that is a question. How do we get new books in the library? Anyway, I guess I'll ask Sonicus about that. Have you read anything? And I'll mention the area that Sahin, or that I kind of saw Sahin in, kind of read and mentioned some of the titles that I saw there. Have you read anything in that area of the library?
About travel? No, I'm still figuring everything out about here, so I don't need to travel anywhere else.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Good to see you, Reggie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Keep reading.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. See ya. Kind of when he walks away, kind of still keep eyes on him. It's like, all right, no, that's Reggie. All right, and then just kind of walk back to my room.
Okay. As we, Sahin, you headed back to the library. In the interest of time,
I'm going to, like, top to bottom, be searching this library.
Okay. It is a big library.
I know.
It takes a long time. So you spend a long time looking through all the books, and there is every subject imaginable, and yeah, nothing you're finding is quite what you're looking for.
So there is absolutely nothing in this library by the time I'm done with it that has anything remotely to do.
You're not done with the library. It's a big library.
Come on.
There are many books in the library.
Lucher, I think, is...
Yeah. Okay. So, is everybody prepared as they wish to?
We don't need
Sure.
I've finished watching Top Gear.
But yeah, read the books, and then we don't need to roleplay it, but make sure say goodbye to my triplet sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell them anything about brothers going off to war, because I don't want to scare them.
Sounds like fun.
Oh yeah, it'll be lots of fun. Yep, yeah.
Bring us something, okay?
Oh, I'll try, definitely. Anything in particular? I've mentioned roughly about what's the world like. Anything in particular that might fancy you? You think
I don't know, haggis sounds gross. Try that.
haggis? It does sound kind of gross. I have no idea what it is, but I'll look into it.
Mm.
All right. And then I'll go over to Nusan and just tell him honestly that apparently I'm going off to war.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm okay if you want to keep on acting like this. I mean, it's a cool look, by the way. I'm
Haven't
digging
you
it.
heard?
What?
War is hell.
I know. I don't want to go to hell.
Mm.
But while I'm gone, you're gonna have to watch over our sisters. All right?
I know.
Take good care of them. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And take care of yourself too.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you also want haggis or whatever it was?
No.
No. What would you like if I could get something from this and I relay again what the world's like?
Maybe like a really muddied up Union Jack. That sounds.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can look into that. Well,
You know, kind of tattered, and it's like, what even is freedom now? You know.
gosh, that is kind of deep.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, I'll look for it. Yep. Take good care of yourself, and hopefully I'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
All right. Give him a hug if he allows. Probably not. It sounds like.
He kind of shrinks away from it, but he lets it happen.
Okay. And then I'll go up to Thanauticus, if my memory serves me correctly. I talked to him about parroting techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Parroting techniques?
Or
Like how to train your parrot?
no, well,
Ooh, that's a whole new franchise.
hop on it, DreamWorks. I mean, we already have Boss
you just
Baby.
don't understand parrots. They're going to live in harmony with us, Dad.
But no, but Thanauticus, man behind the counter, or front desk, as your title, as you like to be called now, I guess.
No, just the Nauticus.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing that other time. Sorry, I have a lot on the mind. If you can keep an eye on my brother,
It's my job to keep
Right,
an eye
yeah.
on people as they come
just
and
make
go.
sure he's okay and my sibs are all right.
Oh, well,
As much as you can, obviously.
he's clearly going through some sort of mental turmoil, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
That sounds rough.
I mean, there are many stressors in the lives of an individual.
Okay.
He's found himself thrust into the role of sole protector of his family unit.
Right. Can you maybe get a big list of books on this subject matter so that I can read it when I get back?
I suppose.
I want to make sure my siblings are right. So I mean, with me going off to, I kind of get closer with war and all of that. I want to make sure that they're okay and safe and doing all right while I'm gone. So, yeah,
Understood.
yeah. So if you could just get me, since you're a well-bred man, if you can give me some literature maybe to read when I get back, that might help me figure out ways that I can help support him in that while I'm away. Or actually, is there a way that you can communicate between worlds and to the lodge? Because then I can check in with him every now and then.
If you discover such a method, I would be happy to utilize it.
I see. I shall look for a method then. Alright, well, I won't hold you up anymore. I think the instructors want us to get out the door, so... Alright. Thanks for everything, Thanauticus. By the way, I give them back the books. They were good reads.
Thank you.
I had to skim over it a little bit just because, time was pressing, but I think I got most of it.
Have you at least discovered more about the nature of your island?
Have I?
Have you?
As far as people are aware in this world, in the world of Shadowrun, it's just kind of this weird new island that's popped up, and they're like, oh, that's weird. So not a whole lot is known about it, and as far as you can tell with what intel Kizma's been able to provide, it seems as though the Wakened company, corporation, what have you, has snatched it up and locked it down.
Okay. I'll relay that to Thanauticus just so he... Also, it helps, relaying things probably helps cement things in the head as well.
Very mysterious.
Yeah. Alright, well, thanks though for the good literature and good reads. Also,
If you find a particularly shiny sword there, leave it alone.
a shiny sword? Okay. Sure. All right. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome.
I'll go ahead and go with the rest of the party whenever we leave.
All right. Sahina is reluctantly summoned from the library. Hideyoshi, you are ready to go.
I say goodbye to Kalis.
All right.
And I didn't even look at the books that Memphis left.
Yeah, they're still sitting up in your room.
Yeah.
I return all of the books and other media that I have been perusing,
Yep.
and report to the kitchen, or wherever it is. The dining area is where the portal is.
Foyer.
Yes.
Yes.
I report to an area, and it just happens to be where everything is.
Yep.
What?
I like this. The lot is cool.
But as you have gathered before the main door to the lodge, Kizma as well is there. She has brought along her visor, and Nuzang and Madarkatal attend the proceedings and appear to have left the rest of their students behind in the classrooms, and are trying to keep this rather small and not performed in such a way as to upset the other members of the lodge, who are mostly children. But they have you gathered. You have bid farewell to your various
I guess it'll just be
loved
me and
ones, I guess.
Yoshi.
Yeah, for Kalis is even there seeing you off for however good his eyesight is.
Hi, Kalis.
And yeah, kind of the clouded over, like,
Master Blob is leaving.
yes.
How sad.
Or like Master Smell.
Yes.
And you've gathered. Nuzang looks to Kizma and instructs her. Put on the visor. Kizma slips it on and steps, kind of waving her hands in front of her unsteadily as she walks towards the main doorway, which, as the visor news it, seems to respond somehow.
Doing it, Kizma, you're doing
It's working. It's working.
Nuzang looks to each of you. Well, if she is to be passing through the doorway, I believe you should all link up somehow.
Does that mean we have to hold hands?
I go and I put my hand on Kizma's shoulder.
Other shoulder.
And I guess I go put my hands on
Both more shoulders.
Yeah. I go grab somebody's hand.
And it's just the four of us going, right?
Yep.
I'll grab Sahin's hand to make sure it's actually Sahin and not Reggie.
Why?
It's a good point. Do I see Reggie?
In the immediate vicinity, no.
I look at Memphis.
Oh no. I like to think that we just have this
I
moment.
shake off your hand. I'm just
Huh?
like, why are you trying to hold my hand, Memphis?
Well-
This is weird.
Well, I can hold your shoulder. I mean,
That's
we're-
better. Do
okay.
that.
Kizma at this point is holding the visor on her face, like, guys, I'm going through.
I go put my hand on my shoulder.
Yep.
Make sure it's actually Sahin that I'm holding onto it. Go.
And as Kizma is drawn in, you feel yourselves pulled along, and there's that kind of weird stretched feeling that accompanies your passing into another realm. And I would like each of you to make a discipline check.
Okay.
This is still our Genesis, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's see if
This is gonna be great.
Actually, this is going to be opposed.
And we get nothing, no special anything.
I'm going to use a story point on my check.
I would like to do so as well.
I guess we all
Use
got
it?
that, unless you're going to use the story point against me.
Or can we all?
Oh, yeah.
Or
There would be three of them.
okay. What does that do? Give you a boost?
That, I believe, turns a green to a yellow.
It's like using a destiny point.
Okay.
It's like Star Wars, but generic.
Okay, that could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
2 success, 2 advantage.
Okay.
1 success, 1 advantage.
Okay.
4 success, 1 advantage.
Okay.
I have 1 willpower, so
Hideyoshi, you touch down, there's cold, slick concrete or something like it beneath your feet, your booted feet. You're wearing...
Ooh, what am I wearing? I'm wearing, basically like a big, thick, heavy jacket that looks like it might have, like, some armor plates in it or something. Am I who I think I am?
You are.
Ah, awesome. I'm a 7-foot tall orc. I weigh 350 pounds. I am swole. I have a sword. I have a gun. I have another gun. I have another gun.
All right. Do you actually have any guns though, or you were just talking about your arms? So.
Oh, plus 2 more guns! Howitzers!
Sorry, get out.
This one is Panzer. This one.
I call this one Sherman.
Okay. Beside Hideyoshi in his big beefy form is Sahin. You...
I actually did not determine what I would look like in this system.
You're about to find out.
Well, what are you, first of all?
An elf.
You're an elf. You retain much of your natural form. However, as you land alight and are kind of feeling over your face and everything, what is this? What is this? Fur? And it's like...
Well, am I furry?
Yep.
Welcome to the club.
I'm a furry.
Yes, you are a dark elf, and retain much of your original build and shape and form. But yeah, basically now you're covered in like this soft fur.
Probably. I'm guessing. Do I also? I also have hair, but I'm also furry.
Yes.
Like okay, so I'm guessing the fur kind of follows because if I keep most of my the way I look in Lodge, then the hair is a thing. I think I determined it was white and it had purple on the tips, so I'm guessing I have purple fur.
Purple highlighted fur,
Yeah.
maybe? So, yeah, okay.
Out of curiosity, does she kind of look like the original elf that we met in Spice?
A bit. As you look over, like, ah! Reggie, why would you do that?
Why?
Do you say Reggie?
I haven't appeared yet.
Oh, okay.
But as you apparate into existence here, what are you, first of all?
I am an elf.
All right.
Copycat.
Because they had.
I'm original.
Do you want me to describe myself more, or just like, alright?
Well, first of all,
Yes.
as you manifest in this new world where it's like this drizzly, rainy, overcast, neon-lit atmosphere, but you're all confined in this narrow alleyway, you get the feeling that in your determination not to be so diminutive as you were in Rope Again, you might have overcompensated. As you are this just long, gangly, slender man kind of build to you, and it's equally disconcerting.
Alright.
All I'm thinking of is the episode of DuckTales where they were in the dreams, and was it Dewey? No, it wasn't Dewey. It was
Huey? It was Huey.
It was Huey.
Yeah, who had the really long...
Yeah, like just all his legs were just long.
Yeah. I'm the oldest. I'm here. I command respect. Anyway.
It's strange.
It's a weird show.
Yeah.
I love it. And as you all alight and look around, and it's like, okay, could have been worse. You all just hear from right next to you in this narrow alleyway, "Are you kidding me?" And you all turn and look, and there's
what does
this
she look like?
bulky, stocky dwarf next to you.
And I
pulled
look
the
at-
visor from her face and is looking over herself.
Does the visor still work for her?
You're not sure. She's at this point just looking down indignantly.
I'm
an elf! How is this?
And I look at her,
Hideyoshi can
raise my
stop laughing.
eyebrow, and just
What?
Whoa.
Don't tell me.
I place my hand over her mouth.
She's trying to push you off.
Her distress is probably not nearly as loud as the 7-foot tall orc's laughter.
This booming laughter.
And I
of
kick
an orc
your
man.
ankle.
I don't notice.
Whoa, Kizma, you're like really short. And I'm like,
And I
really
growl
tall.
out at you. don't know what we're expecting. Shut up.
I got exactly what I was expecting.
Quiet!
I don't have a lower volume, apparently.
Boy, are you gonna keep it down out there?
I told you.
I'll try.
Sorry, man.
It's a husky elf.
I'm kind of going for the Keanu Reeves, like, whoa.
This tall, gangly.
And I'm just sitting here like, I am surrounded by idiots.
Yeah, you are slightly taller than Hideyoshi.
What? I'm 7 foot!
So how tall am I?
Plus.
Okay.
So are we talking about lots of, what's it, in this game, what is it called?
I mean, I will admit, I do have the quality of long reach.
Hey! Yeah, you do.
Lots of augmentation for this, or?
No, this
This is a
is
quality.
just a very oddly proportioned elf.
It's an elf. It's what happens if a basketball player gets the elf metatype.
Since I'm wearing my auctioneer business clothes, I probably do actually have like a suit.
Yes, you are Slender Man. Oh no.
I think
And I'm just sitting there, rubbing my hand on my face, just like,
well.
nobody can be normal.
At this point, you hear from behind at the opening to the alleyway, "Oi, who are you with?" You turn around and there's this rather gruff-looking human individual standing there in all sorts of leather and cybernetics, just like purposefully, ostentatiously grafted over the flesh. And there appears to be a handful of similarly attired ruffians of various other species kind of clustered behind, and they're all kind of swinging around, spiked baseball bats, chains, and like all like the stereotypical.
And I look at all three of them, and just this look on my face of, I told you so. I'm glaring.
What did they ask him?
They said, "Oi, who are you with?"
Does my body recognize anything about their ensemble?
Ensemble.
They're street thugs of some kind.
Okay. In my reading on this cyberpunk London area, I haven't heard anybody refer to it as anything else. Have I come across anything of like gangs or people bearing these markings?
There are different
Mark of
gangs.
Saruman.
Different gangs have different strongholds across the world here. As far as the dominant faction in this area, you're not entirely sure. From your reading, there were a few different gangs that might have been vying for position, but Kizma's intel seems to indicate that the Wakened have just kind of steamrolled everyone else. So probably anyone who's left who is not associated with the Wakened is, lost boy kind of thing. Or just like, hey, we'll form our own new gang
Right.
with blackjack. Anyway.
Oh no.
Also, you said we were in an alleyway, so are
Yep.
we like? Is it an alleyway that just cuts off at the end, or is it just like an alleyway?
It's open on either end, but
Okay.
it appears as though to either side, probably the woman who hollered down to you, you see like the strings of like wire between
Right.
windows and like laundry thrown over it, probably flanked by residential buildings of some kind.
Okay.
They just tower up into the overcast sky.
Through either end of the alleyway, can we see any landmarks that might indicate where we are?
It's a rather narrow view. There's definitely cityscape
Okay.
beyond.
Nothing
but-
stands out like, there's the Eye of London or something. Okay.
So
What are our options?
seems a bit taken aback at that. Looks to
You're
the
a orc or a troll?
Orc.
Okay.
looks to his fellows behind him. Just what?
You with Wykins or something?
We find ourselves having recently arrived in town, so we're not sure what the local nightlife is like.
I'm not asking you which pub you want to go to, mate.
Just kind of like shuffle a little bit and let some of the guns like dangle.
Wasn't talking about pubs.
What's the equivalent of intimidation in this?
I mean, there's influence.
Alright, there.
Willpower watches.
There's also con. I think those are your two big ones. For
All right.
if I remember correctly.
Is it a skill or an attribute?
No, it's going to be other skills.
Like,
Like,
for
for
instance,
instance,
it's attached to an attribute. As players and listeners, we've been reading up on this, you have your various character attributes that are then linked to a certain skill, which then determine how many dice you roll, which is D6s here in the world of Shadowrun, 6th world, and you roll a whole bunch of D6s and hope to not get a whole bunch of 1s. And you want to get 5s and 6s for hits. Sorry, hits. Here in Shadowrun, we don't believe in successes. Yes.
you're looking for intimidate.
Yes.
It's under influence. It's a
Cool.
specialization.
Ah.
Its primary linked attribute is charisma.
Makes
Secondary
sense.
linked attribute is logic, when making a clear argument.
So
Can it be done untrained?
Yes. I mean, I would hope so. You should be able to talk untrained.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah.
wait, right.
but I have low charisma and low logic.
Well,
'cause
you
that's
can-
all my points in body and
can still attempt to intimidate.
That body don't.
What is it linked to? Charisma?
Yeah.
I'm almost like not trying to threaten him, which is why it is dangled instead of like brandished. I'm just like letting him know that we're new in town. We're maybe looking for a gang to hook up with.
Okay.
Whatever it is, we're not interested in his turf.
Well, we could try out a teamwork test.
Ooh, let's do that.
Sure.
Tell us how that
What?
works.
That
guys.
sounds fun.
Teamwork tests are a little different from the other tests. Basically, Shadowrunners function as a team, blah, 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 blah. To perform a teamwork test, select one person as the leader. Anyone else involved is the helper. They all roll the same test, namely whatever test they're trying to do. So, for instance, the helpers roll first, any hits become extra dice added to the leader's dice pool. The total amount of dice added by all helpers cannot be greater than the leader's applicable skill rank or higher of the attributes if the test involving 2 attributes.
Okay.
And then a glitch roll on a helper should cause significant distraction to the next action or few actions they take, preventing them from gaining or spending an edge for the next 3 rounds of combat, and etc., etc., etc.
You are our face-to-face again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So you see, Hideyoshi has presented his weapons
Right.
anyway. He's not brandished, as he pointed out. But are you trying to capitalize on this to aid in your
Yes.
intimidation?
Now, I'd hate to put my... Now, I know we've read about this area, so I should know what street samurai are, right? Mm-hmm. So I would hate to put my street sam into testing out your metal so quickly.
Street salmon.
That's what they nickname it as,
Yeah.
street sam. So
Yeah.
I'm going with the lingo.
Pretty great, yeah. You're hip.
Right, yeah. I'm
Hip to the
like those,
lingo.
like, cool Londoners.
I'm
that-
hip with the kids, y'all.
Right. Anyway, but I don't want to see you be grounded into pace quite yet. We're just looking and trying to find our way downtown.
This really tall and gangly guy. Hello, fellow you.
I play with hips.
Alright, so go ahead and roll
Well, the
intimidation.
helpers
Yes.
roll
So I'm
first,
gonna roll, and I have no influence, but I have 2 charisma, so I get
you
to
go.
do a test with 2 dice.
Sure.
So, edge for this encounter.
Mm-hmm.
There are more of them. I'm really big.
I look
I don't know how we. Is there any additional edge that can be distributed, or they all go to Kyle because he's
There
doing
are more of
text?
them, but you guys are much better outfitted. These are street toughs with basic,
Okay. So would that be like one edge a piece, and then Kyle would take the edge that we give him?
Yeah, as far as like combat strength, yeah, I'd say
Okay.
1.
Ooh! I rolled a 5 and a 6, so my test had 2 hits.
2
That means
hits.
I get, what is it, the total amount of dice, hits become extra dice added to the leader's dice pool. So I get 2 hits from you. Are you doing anything, Saheen or Kizma?
Kizma's still freaking out about being a dwarf.
Short up, Harry. What's going on?
So we're just trying to
Scare them off.
scare them off. I got nothing right now. I'm trying to
Oh, that's fine.
trying to snap Kizma back into it, just being like, got this.
Do not tell me what to do. Do not tell me what to do.
Well, you're freaking out, so obviously you need to know what to
Place
do.
myself in between them and the hostiles.
So I get 2 dice then from...
Yep.
Can I aid in that I'm looking very menacing as I'm like talking?
You're not looking menacing in their direction.
Okay, darn
Kyle,
it.
you have 1
tried.
additional edge to spend on this test.
Oh yeah, true. I'll go ahead and
Wait, let's start with
I'll keep it just in case if I want to
edge.
re-roll something.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, for players and listener, you begin with an edge pool of edge points, which can be utilized to positively affect your rolls or tests.
And you start with edge equal to what your edge rating
Yes.
is, and you can gain more or use it to do things.
Yep.
I believe at the end of the session you're reset back to your
Yes.
edge points, whether you're down below or too high.
Yep.
Right.
I remember seeing that somewhere.
But I'm going to go keep the edge because there's one thing that I can do. I can re-roll 1 die if need be.
Yeah.
Doopy doopy doopy. Really? Okay. So we'll go ahead and just re-roll one of these. So I'll use that 1 edge that I got from you. Or did I also get an edge? And as
Yes.
well? Oh, so I'll use...
I did not use any edge,
Ah,
but you get an edge
I get
because
it.
of the situation
right. So I'll
where we
go
are
ahead and
better
roll one of
equipped than
these
they are.
guys. One of that. Nope. Okay. So I got 2 successes.
All right. 2 hits.
2 hits. Sorry.
Yeah.
Gotta get with the lingo. The cool hit
Yeah.
lingo.
Huh. Okay. You stare them down for a moment, and the leader, at least, is starting to look about and assess. Well, there's only 2 of them who actually seem interested in us, but they're pretty well armed, and that really tall guy's freaky. So they're seeming unsure for a moment, and then just as like he seems to be turning about to issue an order to his underlings, there is like this through the air, and this something shiny and metal just shoots down from one of the windows above, and is going to does not connect with the front person, but just like this spinning metal disc of some kind just embeds itself into the concrete next to him, and he jumps back and is looking about for, basically sniper.
Right.
But as he's looking about, and you all look up to the windows above, you don't really see anything that might indicate.
She's really mad that we're making so much noise. We should leave immediately.
I'm gonna back away from them, kind of like still keeping an eye on them and head in the other direction. Push the half elven sisters. Kind of scoot them down the alleyway.
I'll grab Kizma and drag her along.
We're just gonna try and leave the alleyway the opposite direction that the thugs are.
As you take Kizma's hand in yours and start dragging her along, she's just looking at her hands. Oh, hairy knuckles.
I hold my other hand in front of her face and go, "You think you have problems?"
Well, at least it matches.
That's what die is for.
So as,
Why doesn't yours match?
I don't know.
I just look at
I'm
Look up.
I'm just keeping an eye on them, but slowly backing up.
The thugs behind you at this point have started like oh, duck and cover, and, like dodging behind.
Barrel roll.
Yeah. Like trying to find some sort of cover, and like some of them are scrambling up drainage pipes to get to the roof and see if they can attack whoever took the shot.
What kind of weapon was that? Did I recognize it?
Some kind of spinning metal disc. Are you aware what that is?
David is not.
All right.
Out of curiosity, could it have been fired from, say, like a pistol? Because I do have specialization in pistol firearms. Probably not.
Probably not.
Just thought I should throw that out there to see if I might get something. But nope. So I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
Yeah. Keeping an eye on things and also seeing if I can, from my high vantage point that apparently I have, being 7 foot plus, see if I can maybe find out where that shot came from.
You're not as tall as the building, so you're not able to get...
Just a quick stand on my shoulders.
God, and we need a very big trench coat.
That's an unsettling mental image.
Because the problem with this would be it'd be skinny on top
Yep.
and sudden bold.
I never skip leg day. Sorry.
So, as all of you are hurrying off to the other end of the alleyway, it appears as though there are minor breaks, and I mean minor breaks between these what appear to be some kind of residential complexes that are just butted up almost completely against each other. And you're heading, like, the alleyway's already narrow, but in between these buildings is basically maybe a person could walk through here.
Nah.
Well, you have no trouble. I have to, like, turn sideways, shuffle.
True, yeah.
Basically, are you continuing down on this long string of residential buildings, or are you trying to divert and slip out between them?
Random question. Kyle knows this because I made Memphis the character in Shadowrun.
Mm-hmm.
I apparently have a car.
Yeah.
Would Memphis know that I have a car?
This is basically an instance of Game Master being like, hey, if you want to have a car in this system, maybe if you find a place where there reasonably could be a car, you get to steal a car.
Okay.
Okay. That means I get to steal I think it's more of a bike, but yeah.
I think that we would probably try to take a couple turns and put some building between us and our new friends.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, like, trying to keep unobtrusive and just, like, not look like we're...
Okay. So at earliest opportunity, divert and shimmy.
Right.
Yep.
Also, we never got fired at as well, right?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay. But I'm going to be kind of looking around because like, oh shoot, I just got here and people are shooting at me. This is war. I don't like it. But
It happens.
Well, I mean, yeah. But I didn't quite expect to go into it right off the bat. It's really weird being tall, by the way.
You guys are about at eye level, and it's like you're trying to out-gravel each other.
Well, let's find a quiet place to continue this conversation.
What are you doing that thing with your voice for?
I always talk like this.
I am the owlbear.
Yeah.
So, you diverge and start going along the narrow corridor betwixt two of these structures. As you come out the other side, there appears to be some sort of tiered garage that anybody who's a resident here appears to park their vehicle, and it's kind of sent into this underground conveyor system that brings up the appropriate vehicle at the appropriate time and parks the right one in the right spot. And
is it all automated, or is there actually like a parking attendant there?
it appears to be automated.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is an interface where you can interface.
So, like, should we, like, grab a ride or something?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Okay. Let me go deal with this here. Computer.
Beautiful.
Hey,
Computer.
Dwarf.
Home.
What?
Aren't you good with computers?
Yes.
We want to get in there. Get a ride.
Fine. She rolls, but for this roll, she just succeeds because, oh, look at that! She manages to bring up an appropriate vehicle to suit what Memphis has acquired on his character sheet.
Here, a Ford's really good.
Wait,
I mean,
A Ford Americar.
are you and I even gonna fit in your car?
Well, I mean,
if it has a sunroof.
we can figure it out.
Are they the only ones that are gonna fit in that car?
No, there'd still be room in the back, but you also, Kizma's just like brings up, fine, and that looks cool, and she brings up on the system is like, and so yeah, you guys can describe your new sets of
My
wheels.
ride?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first, or should I go first?
I mean, mine is a cool, like, one-person, speedy bike that goes real fast.
Crotch rocket. That's what they're called.
It's true.
I mean, it's true, but I never heard it described that way.
This is a spy movie bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, in my reading, I heard a lot of good things about the Ford company, so I got a Ford Americar. We'll call it. Well, it'll be like a nice light green for Jeremy. Missed that guy. Jeremy was good.
Who?
Oh, my cricket. I like to think that it's like film noir where I just kind of go off and like narrate.
Oh my.
I miss my pal, my cricket,
Right.
my boy. Jeremy was his name.
Right. I don't like this war zone. Then I come back.
War is hell, and war without a cricket.
Well, that's the deepest, darkest.
Anarchy.
Right. Now I'm just thinking of the whole meme where it's like, Memphis loves Jeremy, Memphis loves large, Memphis loves war, anarchy, or something like that, whatever it is. That meme. Anyway, sorry.
He protect, he attack.
Right.
I'm gonna try and squeeze myself into the passenger seat of.
Right.
Oh, how lucky for us they left the
And
keys in the car.
This is actually the first instance of either of you encountering a motor vehicle.
Actually,
And-
that's a good question. I do not get in the passenger seat. I get in the driver's seat.
okay.
I hop in what I believe is passenger seat because most books I've read are all in the American.
This is a Ford Americar. Yes. You're like, ooh, driver's seat. Wait, what?
Why is the steering? Wait, I don't know. Why am I? I don't know how to drive. Do you know how to drive?
I think I might.
All right,
I can give it a try.
let's switch places.
So we'll go switch places.
As you're moving to switch places, there is a heavy on the window that there's this like veined fracturing along the glass, and it looks as though somebody is outside with a baseball bat and just trying to smash in the window.
How about new idea? You drive.
No, I get out of the car and I draw my sword.
Okay, you push out of the car, stand up, towering before this individual, and they're staring up at you, clutching their baseball bat. Sure, we're in England, a cricket bat, and
Blimey.
yeah.
I'm gonna reach out and I'm gonna grab the cricket bat and pull it out of their hands.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, does this guy is wearing anything like the gangs that we just saw?
Yep.
Okay.
Appears to be one of those individuals. Go ahead and what is it? Athletics, body athletics,
All right, I can do one of those.
versus his body athletics, which is considerably less.
Yeah, it is.
I like to also get out the car while this is happening.
Okay.
Do I gain any edge for him being kind of terrified of my massiveness?
This is technically the same encounter, so no.
Okay. Okay. Well, I rolled particularly well on that test. That gives me 6 hits.
He got 2.
Yoink!
Yeah, you just reach out, grab the cricket bat, and just yank it out of his hands, and he staggers back a step and looks like he's fiddling in his pocket, trying to pull out like
I
a brass
wouldn't do
knuckles.
that if I were you.
All right,
Actually,
roll your intimidate.
I was going to come out and remark something to this individual, so I don't know if you want to do another teamwork
Go for it,
test.
please do.
But I'll just like, oh, now you really made him mad. I don't want to clean up the mess.
So I got 1 hit on my test to give you an extra die.
This is again intimidate.
Yep.
Alright, so now I'm rolling 6. I like how we're like doing this whole good cop, bad cop thing.
I like this dynamic.
You're the one who's making all the threats!
You, meanwhile, Sahin, have gone over to your bike and kind of slung a leg over. There's a helmet with it and everything, and just kind of Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead and use one of my own
full
edge. That I have
sleek
on now.
biker mode. And at this point, Kizma's looking back and forth between the car and the bike and just...
Where am I supposed to go? They have the seats pushed way back.
I mean, I hate to point this out, but you're a lot shorter than you were.
Don't you start.
You're gonna have to come to accept it.
She just, eyes locked on you, glaring, just moves over to the car and pulls open the back door. Is there a back door in this thing?
I would imagine. So
Okay.
it's
I think
got
it's
four
a
seats.
four-seater,
So there
yeah.
should be
But
a
sometimes you just get...
I can look it up for you.
It's fine. We'll move on. Sure, it's
Is
got
it a
back door.
coupe or is it a sedan?
Right.
By the way, I got one success. Or one hit.
One hit.
Yeah. Keep
Uh,
on saying success.
the kid still fumbles in his pocket for brass knuckles, and he's going to try to punch it.
I'm
Don't
gonna
say
try
it.
and sword him as well. Okay, well, are we initiative at this point?
I guess we are.
Okay, where's my initiative?
So initiative in Shadowrun, who would like to explain to listener?
Initiative is, I believe it's a reaction plus intuition, and you take that raw number, which in my case I've got 5 reaction and 2 intuition, is 7, and then you add a number of d6s where you actually just roll the die and take the number on it. So I'm rolling 7 plus 1 d6, and I got a 4, so my initiative is 11.
You want me to roll as well, Seth? Or
If you're going to take part in the combat, yes.
I'm gonna let them.
I'll go ahead and
Duke
roll
it out
so I
with
have
the kid.
something in case I need to go.
Then you have it.
Yeah. I have whatever or
What is your initiative?
I have an initiative of 9.
So you rolled on a d6?
Yes. I have 8 plus 1d6.
Okay.
1. So
You got a total of 8. So you're both going first.
Okay.
First off, Hideyoshi. This guy's standing before you. He's pulled out brass knuckles and he's trying to put it on. Oh, blimey!
Does someone want to remind me how to make an attack?
well,
Close combat plus agility. Okay, so...
Agility seems to cover combat,
Yes.
basically.
Okay, so my agility is 5, and my close combat is 7, and I have close combat specialization of blades, which is what I'm using with my katana here, so I'm rolling a lot of dice.
You use a check for edge.
Oh, what is it? Combat rating?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. So my, the close attack rating of the katana is 10.
All right.
wow.
What's his defense rating?
Where'd you go?
Or should I maybe say, whoa.
Whoa.
We got a weird dynamic going on, but I'm loving this.
Oh, wait, it's combat versus defense rating?
Yes.
Okay, so what is your...
I've got a 10.
you get 2 points of edge.
Oh.
He's a grunge.
Okay, I'm gonna hang on to those 2 points then. He has got nothing. Okay. Alrighty then, I'll make my attack. Alright, so that is... Oh my. How many dice did I start with? Okay, good. I did not get more than half were ones.
Which would be a glitch,
That would be-
listener.
Yep. But still a large number of ones. Anyway, I ended up with 4 hits on that.
All right.
So then he makes his defense
He
test,
does. Which is...
which is reaction and intuition.
Not a lot. That's 2 hits.
Okay, so that means I've got 2 left, and with those 2, I add to my damage, which is 4 physical. So it does 6 physical damage to him, and then he gets to resist that with body.
Not a lot. It's nothing.
Okay, so he takes 6 physical damage.
He does. Yeah, you just sweep around with your sword. It's just... And there's a moment where you're like, did I hit him? And then he just crumples backward, unmoving. It's just, oh.
Alright.
I'm going to...
It's like you felt no resistance, basically. It was just like,
Dang.
You went full lightsaber.
Right.
Is the guy dead? Or...
He's not moving, and he's bleeding profusely.
I'm going to...
Well, I did warn him. I didn't want to clean up the mess.
Should we, like,
Also,
stop him
that's
from
very
dying or
scary.
something? That was the...
Where have you got a stain on my front porch?
Did someone actually say that?
Yep. Somebody hollers from inside.
I get on the bike and I'm like, where are we going, guys?
I'm going to quick wipe the blood off on the person who's there, put my sword away, drop the cricket bat, and get the passenger side of the car.
As you both pile back in the car, you in the driver's seat this time?
Sure.
You look back as you're like looking back to pull out of the driveway, basically. Kizma's just huddled in the back seat, just clutching the visor in one hand and looking out of the window at the body.
Right.
And just eyes saucer wide, just... What just happened?
Sometimes things get rough.
Don't know, kid. But buckle up.
Alright. As you guys peel out of the driveway... Oh yeah, you gotta clean that up! Basically, you're peeling out and heading down one of the
Down the road.
the residential road here. Where are you headed?
Also, is Sabine like following us, or?
Look in the rearview mirror.
Apparently, yes.
Oh, these things have rear view mirrors. That's dandy.
Well, I can kind of see around like my shoulder pauldrons there a little bit.
Whoa.
My shoulder. My shoulder. Yeah, the shoulder.
Is this Ford Americar equipped with some sort of satellite navigation or a map or something?
I think it would be. So sure, yes.
Longdon is kind of a big city, so...
Yeah, probably hard to get around without some sort of map.
I hear that there's... My phone's gonna probably go off here, but I hear that Siri is apparently a big thing.
I thought Siri lived in California.
Oi, Siri. No response.
No.
Keep in mind, I'm untrained with electronics, so...
I think we all are.
No, I actually cannot train and get ranks in electronics. I'm incompetent.
Well, I have no rank, so I'm probably not much more help.
Kizma's just looking between the two of you as you're like slapping the GPS system.
Poke, poke.
What are you doing?
We want to find out where we are.
So you have to... She just reaches and pushes the power button.
Whoa. That's like witchcraft.
Siri, maybe you should be in front and I should sit in the back seat.
Yeah, okay.
Let me find
Thus
out.
begins the awkward process of like,
Well,
wait,
hold on. Let me figure out. Let me park the car.
We're gonna park because I don't think I can squeeze between the seats.
Alright, so you look up ahead and the car is pulling to the side of the road.
I pull over and watch the Chinese fire drill happening.
Yeah. Well, it's not
Not a
outside.
pole.
Is it all inside or is...
No, I'm getting out.
Okay.
I don't think that my body will
Yeah.
fit through between the seats without
As this
crushing
is-
something.
Yeah, as this is happening, Sahin, you're getting this faint sound in the distance of...
Guys, get yourself sorted and let's get moving.
Myself sorted and get back in the car.
And I think that I would be using
The comm link?
well,
Or the
it's
cyber deck? No, it's actually called a comm link. Never mind.
yeah, I have a comm link.
I do too.
I also can you use the smart link or to send audio or do you
Well,
have to-
Comlink is basically kind of your do-it-all Palm Pilot computer thing that it has like an MP3 player, a phone, and everything in there.
Okay,
So,
well I'd
It's
be
a
talking.
music square.
Right. Well, sorry. So Ned could probably use that to communicate with us.
It's a very good music square.
Well, I guess that's our cue to leave. Although we got this huge dent in the windscreen, I believe is what it's called.
It was the window.
Window.
Oh, so- okay.
Well,
Window, not windshield. Oh, okay.
this is par for the course, really.
True. Let's. And I go take out sunglasses. Roll. Go drive away.
And the Kizma's line as you're driving off, and the camera kind of pans up following the car. This is par for the course.
Last time, I was a lizard man.
And I was short.
Wait, you weren't.
Well, not last
I'm
time,
not
last time,
there,
but
but yeah,
previously.
I was gonna say. I'm not there for this.
Well, before too long, Kizma powers up a comlink from the car directly to you with her, or at least she attempts to. Yeah, she manages to do it. And your helmet comlink comes online, and you are connected to converse with the people in the car.
That's your ringtone.
No, her ringtone is "I'm Reggie Harkins."
No!
Hi, you've reached Reggie Harkins. So,
If I ever find out what you guys have talked about, I might do that. Just
so
for kids.
specifically, I suppose for the gents of the group, but also the ladies, I guess. How do you feel about being in a very high-powered motor vehicle for the first time?
It feels weird
Feels
having
great.
something moving under your feet. And it's like,
I mean, maybe not. Like, I am feeling the wind in my fur. It's a very strange new sensation. But I like it.
Yeah. Hideyoshi's been watching all the Top Gear.
Hey, you should try one of those handbrake turns.
oh really?
Yeah.
Alright. And also, if I understand correctly, I'm supposed to say, like, this is the greatest car
In the
Pause. in the world.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
I'll do that when I do that, and then when I come up to a corner, I'm going to try a handbrake turn and go,
Apex.
right.
Okay. Roll for that.
Use edge! Use all the edge.
Rolling for that.
Please don't kill us in the first session. We're gonna find out what that interdimensional crawl space is really like.
I'm actually like Richard Hammond.
So that there is a driving skill, yes?
Yes.
Is it
Piloting.
Piloting? Yeah, I think it's piloting. That's what I have.
I actually have 1 rank in that.
I have 2. Piloting is, I'm guessing, with agility?
No. It's
Oh, no,
actually,
sorry, it's just off your...
It's reaction.
Actually, wait a minute.
It's tied to reaction, so you would be rolling your reaction dice and your piloting
Yep.
dice.
Guess what? I've been going super easy on you this whole time, GM, because I've only been rolling my skills. I haven't been rolling my 7 charisma with my skill.
Mm-hmm.
But that's alright. I live and learn. I could have been rolling actually 12 dice for my, or more, for my talking people down. But that's okay.
That might have made a difference. Good
That's
to
all
know.
right.
You could have saved a life there, Kyle.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle could have. Memphis didn't know.
know how to save
so-
Streets are hard and unforgiving.
Elves have a max of 8 charisma possibility.
Hence the reason why I chose an elf.
Yeah, I think I was.
My max is 5.
I chose elf because they also have a max agility of 7.
Yeah. Now, I'm guessing I don't get any edge because it's the first time I'm trying to do this. I've never driven in a car or done anything before.
And Kizma is pointing all of this out very loudly as you are going into your handbrake turns. You've never driven before,
Lift up oversteer.
Oh, darn, it has an electronic handbrake.
Oh
I'll go ahead and use... Well, how much edge do we regain at the end of the session?
You go back to your threshold.
Yeah, your edge, your
at the
edge
end
rating.
of the
Right.
session.
I'll use one more to go re-roll a die. Nope. So that's 2 success.
Okay.
2 hit.
2 hits.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yes, obviously, hits. But
I hit that anyway.
you go into your handbrake turn and it's like you're fishtailing all over the place, and
I pull over and watch this train wreck.
it's not an absolute train wreck. There are no trains nearby, and
Josh, I mean Reggie.
but no, you spin out a bit, and there's like the wheels spinning out and just smoke as the tires are burning rubber, and just abruptly the car just comes to a stop, and you realize you just never took the brake off, and
That's how you're supposed to do it, right?
Maybe we should practice before we actually meet.
you're just catching your breath.
First try. All right, and then I'll put it back down and then continue along my way.
I just remembered something.
Yes.
On some of these shows, they take one of these straps and like put them across themselves.
Oh, really?
And I buckle my seatbelts.
Okay.
I was wondering what that was for. I'll go ahead and buckle my seatbelt as well.
Click, 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 click.
Dear listener,
About
always
safety
wear your
here.
seatbelts.
Right. At Tim Portlers, we here believe in safety while driving.
Check your mirrors before making a turn.
Yep. And once again, in the few seconds you're catching your breath, it's like, okay, that was a rush. Other cars are just kind of coming along and giving you a wide berth. Not really stopping or anything, but you're wagering. Some people are raising up devices in your area. They're probably recording for some purposes, and the wailing you were hearing in the distance begins to draw closer.
I think we should keep it on the down low. Let's drive normally.
So drive casual. All right.
Yes.
I don't know. Drive casual.
I'll go ahead. Try to take a road off of the main road, so that way we're not like in the middle of everything.
All right. Kizma's going to try to find you a reasonable route. She does look about the interior of the cart. So where are we going? Are we going to drive to an island? I don't think that's how this works.
But you did say that there was a large body of water in between
Yes.
Ireland and
I think
London.
And this doesn't go underwater, correct?
I don't know. Have you been in a car before?
No?
Okay.
I don't think they do.
Oh.
Unless you're. Oh, that one British guy had an underwater car though.
Yeah. You've been watching a lot of British entertainment. So you're like, oh yeah, that 007 guy. Yeah.
Well, this doesn't look anything because that was an Atpin Marpin or something like that. This
No,
is
I think that
Ford.
one was a Lotus.
A Lotus.
Yes.
Okay.
What time of day is it?
It is...
It's gonna be noon, right?
It is just afternoon.
Okay.
Not that you're able to tell really through the
Actually,
dense cloud cover.
I look at the clock inside the car.
It's just afternoon.
Oh, look.
It's just afternoon.
Time here is weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Should be getting ready for onesies.
We should try and find like a place to, I don't know, get an apartment or a flat. They're called flats here.
Yeah. Because we don't know how long we're going to be living here. Or here. Right.
And we need time to like search and figure out what's going on.
And figure out what's the deal with this London.
Yeah.
Well. You got that, Saheen?
I think so.
Or Reggie, I mean Saheen?
What was that?
Oh, nothing. I'm getting used to this voice.
Flawless cover.
I mean, I can roll if you want.
Hey, what's perception in this system?
It's called perception.
Nice. No more Legend of the Five Rings, no perception rolling.
Yeah.
That was really throwing me off. So everybody go ahead and just roll your perception.
Perception plus what's the linked attribute?
Perception linked attribute is intuition.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I probably should just write down what everything's linked to. But,
That's what I did on my character sheet.
well, you adding ahead. Intuition plus perception.
I got one hit.
One hit. Suppose he must also roll.
I have 2 hits.
Okay.
If they're linked to multiple, it says it's. I have some that are linked to multiple, or like a primary and a secondary. I guess I'd only use the primary, and then my skill. I forget how it has it in the book because I just.
I can find out for you here.
Thank you.
Perception is intuition logic for pattern recognition. So obviously you're not going to be able to do pattern recognition for just looking around.
So it's logic is the pattern recognition.
so
Okay, so it's
Intuition.
intuition. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like for most of them, if they have a secondary linked attribute, they will tell you when you can, like, for instance, influence. It's basically linked to charisma, but logic when you're making a clear argument.
Got it.
So,
Okay. And hits are 4 and a
5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Only 5 and 6. Okay. 4 hits.
Okay. Saheen, you are actually the one who looks up in the cityscape on the horizon that's just this drizzling, morose downpour of English rain.
I do have Image Link and Smart Link, as well as on the helmet I have a couple things too.
But you're seeing this towering structure kind of off-center of jolly old London town. And it appears to tower over any other structure in the immediate vicinity, at least. And along, it's reminiscent of Wayne Tower, but instead of Wayne, it says Wakened in big friendly letters.
Guys, and
That's an
I
abomination.
pull up alongside and I point out. I'm like, I think I know what we need to check out first.
That's just disgusting the way they use Comic Sans for that.
Well, I'm glad it's not papyrus, but you know.
Sometimes I'm not sure which is worse, but yes. In this instance, papyrus might be worse.
Sorry.
Comic Sans is so much better.
Sorry, Game Master.
Fine, that's canon.
Alrighty.
They hire the worst designers
Yeah.
ever.
This really awkward looking neon lit up Comic Sans.
It's somebody's aunt's nephew's son.
There was nepotism involved somehow.
Yes.
Well,
It's like, I can design a logo.
Yeah, good job.
well, let's just hope all the money that we would have spent on designing the logo didn't all go into security.
That would be pretty bad, wouldn't it?
But speculating out on the terrible logo, maybe they put out the security to another incompetent family member.
Well, are we just going to go up and knock, or are we going to find a place to lie low?
We should find a place
Tell
to
the
lie low,
coppers.
do some local research with books that have been updated this century.
So,
By the way, Keysmith Century is a unit of time.
Okay.
I didn't know if she
do we
knew.
want to pool our resources and get a place?
Actually, do I hear still the sirens coming? All right.
They have fallen more distant,
Ah.
but you don't know if you've been properly marked for the authorities or what.
How would we go about determining if we have acquired heat?
So you're doing the Grand Theft Auto, and it's like, okay, let me.
How many stars do you
Yeah.
have?
Yeah, how do we know if we are being pursued and if
Well,
our descriptions are out or
Well, Kizma pipes up and says, well, I can tap into the police frequencies and see if
Or maybe like
Is that legal?
I'll make it legal.
you can maybe the lie low first. Check like the news, I believe it's called, and see if like there's some crazy driver driving around.
The news feeds or the
I think it's
World Wide Web.
or like
No, it's called the Matrix now. That's right.
well, newsfeed is kind of like I think there's also something called like BuzzFeed as well.
Oh no!
I look at Keisman and say, just
You're
find
looking her through the
something.
window.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've come up alongside.
All right. Well, that's 5 hits. So she's able to bring up more than basic information. She's basically just using the. I've been talking to the ship's computer, and it hates me. But no,
the
she's
City Central Computer told you.
she's basically using the onboard car amenities computer, and so finding
Boy,
any
Siri.
appropriate intel, and what she appears to be bringing up on whatever the interface screen area appears to indicate that there has been a disturbance of some kind in the residential district where you were, and apparently there was somebody in a getaway vehicle who was driving very poorly, and
I take offense to that.
thus far it is like the only intel that seems to be bandied about is that apparently it was an American model, of course.
Huh. Well, maybe we shouldn't drive around all that much more
Yeah,
this afternoon, as it says on the clock.
let's find a spot where we can park and hopefully keep the shattered glass kind of like hidden a little bit.
How many afternoons in a century?
Well, that's like a lot.
36,500.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
How many centuries does a dwarf live?
You know, I honestly don't know.
More than one, though.
Great.
Although hopefully we'll be here a century.
Or wait, more than one in some worlds. I don't know about this one, actually. Sorry.
Wow, okay.
So,
We all really should have read a lot more.
well, I did give you. I mean, so Ian was reading, which was. All
I
right.
was trying to figure out how to be myself here.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I wasn't myself when I first arrived.
It takes a lot
I wasn't
of
too bad.
Yeah, it takes a lot of focus and discipline.
I was a lord, captain.
That was a fluke.
That was pretty cool. I had it on the second one though. I was a short person with a messed up face. So Kizma, you don't have it that bad.
Got something against short people?
No, I was short myself. If anything, I can relate.
Let's just find a spot and park, guys.
Right.
Can I look at the window and see him just
as you're
her
speaking
helmet.
with Kizma, abruptly her eyes just glaze over. You see like this faint kind of synthetic spark just kind of sheen over her eyes.
Kizma.
What?
I wave my hand.
Unresponsive. Through the window?
Yeah.
She is unresponsive.
Park now.
I think we were already parked.
Oh.
Being in the car is weird. Do I know anything about, in my reading that I read, about people hacking into things and getting some sort of biofeedback or something? I forget what it's called here. But
Yeah, that seems like she just took some stun damage from a previous thing that she did. Maybe?
Memphis, you from your readings, you're able to piece together. Oh, you think she's actually entered some sort of other level of this reality,
whoa.
and not willingly.
I think Kizma has been, I relay what I kind of know.
So, I think that, if I remember correctly, I have, in my contacts, excuse me, I have image link, which I think I'm able to see. Am I able to see that reality with it somehow, or is that just...
Image link is kind of like a heads-up display.
I thought there was something...
If I understand correctly.
I remember seeing something of like without this you can't see the
Augmented reality.
The
Yeah.
Matrix AR stuff.
Yeah.
So, image link. This lets you display visual information, text, pictures, movies, the current time. Hey, we got the current time there, etc. In your field of vision. This is usually done with AROs, but you can display pretty much whatever you want on it. You and your team can use it to share tactical and situation information in real time. So, me and you can do that. I don't know if
I am not
you don't have
digitalized
that.
at all.
So, me and Sahin can at least do that. An image link is what you need to truly, quote, see AR and participate in the modern world.
Okay.
So if she's in the Matrix, that's not necessarily
Okay.
AR.
Yeah, in any case, I think you would still need a way to tap in or interface
which I
somehow.
don't have. So, since you seem to know what's up, do we have any recourse? Can we snap her out of it?
Do I know of any recourse?
You could attempt to snap her out of it, but might not be advisable.
I'll relay that to Sahin.
There's a potential for negative feedback.
So since Sahin's the sister, I'll relay that to her, just so it's like, hey, we could do this, but it would hurt your sister. Possibly.
Okay, you know what? Is there anything we can do that won't hurt her? Because she's the person we need in this. And on a whim, I grab the visor
Okay.
and I'm gonna put the visor on.
Okay.
Does it work?
As you place this visor over your eyes, there's you're growing familiar with this sort of setup where it's like the icons around the fringes of your field of vision at this point, and this is some kind of heads up display that's awaiting your command.
Okay, because and then I chose that I'm a native speaker of Sparathiel, which is the Elven language, and then I'm expert at English and specialist in city speak.
Okay.
Does that help me understand what the visor says?
It does appear to, like, any of the indicators and everything appears to be in Elvish. So the Spirithiel or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Sparathiel, I
Okay.
think is how you say it. Okay, so I can understand them then. And Kizma never could understand what it said previously, correct?
She was figuring it out basically by,
Okay.
hey, let's see what happens when I do this.
Alright, so I'm going to see if I can do something more than just look at security footage
Okay.
by... Wait, what was it?
By, like, Googling how to help a friend who's been sucked into the astral plane?
No.
Well, out of curiosity, when Sahin took off the visor, did anything happen to Kizma? Or
Kizma was not wearing it.
She was not
Oh,
wearing it.
I thought she
Because we
was,
saw
so
her
my
eyes
mistake.
glaze over.
Okay, my mistake. I thought she was, so that's why I was curious. Anyway, you were going to go do something?
Yeah, so I would like to search through whatever menus there are for anything that seems
Okay.
useful.
Yeah, as you work your way through the interface, it appears as though that you would need some sort of physical jack into whatever augmented reality, what have you, you're trying to access. But as you're looking over Kizma's new dwarven body, there's all sorts of weird ports and augmentations and
Can I try to assess what would be the correct way to figure out what's going on? Like the port to use to see
Write
what's
it down.
going on.
I'll say, how good are you? How good are you with computers?
I do not have any skill at all in computers.
Actually, I
I have
think it's-
athletics, close combat, firearms, perception, piloting, and stealth.
I think computers isn't a skill. I think it's all under electronics.
Okay.
Really?
I think. I'm double checking that.
New system. Who dis? All right.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I shall try to verify here once I find out.
You're not after. You gotta go the other way to find the skills.
I went too far.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not bad. Man, I think I went too far. There we go. Alright.
Yep.
Yes, there's no computer skill.
So yeah,
computers is under electronics.
the electronics.
Can you do electronics untrained?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, your primary attribute is logic.
Logic. So could I do a logic test to figure out?
Yes, you may.
Okay. So I'm only rolling my attribute because I have nothing to add to
Correct.
it. 2 hits.
All right. You are able to locate what you think is the proper interface, kind of along the temple of your sisters, the
And-
dwarven head.
All right. So I pray to whatever gods are in this world, and I plug in.
All right, Cthulhu hears you, and
Oh no!
You mean Cthulhu Jack?
Cthulhu, yeah. Quack Cthulhu.
Quack Cthulhu. That's right.
Yeah, like as you're basically interfacing with your sister's brain here almost directly. It's
I'm
very
trying to be
unsettling.
very, very nice because as much as I try and play jokes on her, this is not a laughing matter.
And like kind of accentuating and complementing the wiring and the augmentations that are like infused into Kizma's head. Her hair is kind of brought back and plated along to highlight and underscore it, basically. So it's like they're the tiers of it through her plaited hair, and then like the long kind of bundled braid along the top.
Okay.
And then as you hope at least interfacing with the proper port, your senses abruptly shift, and you're in this it's kind of
But it's
blank,
through the visor, right?
yes, blank grayish space, and you find yourself in this not quite virtual reality, augmented reality space, but you find yourself adjacent to an angry dwarf and another individual who looks like, given your even peripheral research into this reality would tell you that this is like a youngish troll female who is standing in front of who you recognize as
Oh, darn it, we met the online trolls.
Don't feed the trolls. Standing before your sister here, and you're arriving in this reality just in time to be hearing
They
Kizma
notice?
spouting. And I'm not really a dwarf, okay? And
Oh no. And I probably like say this out loud, and so you will hear that.
Do we see Sahin just...
no, she's still sitting in the back there, just wearing the visor.
Oh, okay. I see.
And I'm not sitting in the back. I like
Are you
Kizma's
still on
in the
the bike?
passenger seat. I'm on the bike,
Yeah.
and I've used the jag to pull.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she's just still sitting there on the bike on the side of the road. Yes, you've pulled off onto the soft shoulder or whatever it's called. in
Boy, that
person.
might be a problem.
And
We do our best to locate a legal parking place.
all right, but yeah, Sahin, you're here, and Kizma's just
Do they
flailing
notice?
and losing it.
Do they notice
The troll woman is standing there, arms folded, just rippling muscles along these arms, and just is staring down at Kizma, patiently waiting for her rambling to end. And as you manifest in this virtual space, just kind of her eyes shift over to you. Does she ever stop talking?
Who wants to know? And I give Kizma a look of, shut up. Keep your mouth zipped.
She kind of keeps on mumbling under her breath, but the troll woman,
I put more ire into my glare.
the troll woman glances between you. Obviously, you two are related.
I just know her real well.
She was probably making a joke because you're an elf and a dwarf.
I smile as I say, yeah, I know her pretty well. Kind of situation.
Well,
Who are you and why is she here?
I'm someone who keeps a pulse on new players in jolly old Londinium. Further confuse you.
Pronounce it.
I'll tell you guys later.
And you, your weird little band, appear to be new players.
Yeah, and what are you looking for?
Name's Vethinai. I represent the Dirats.
Okay.
We're like pirates, but we make you die.
I thought pirates made you die anyways. I mean,
The good ones do.
okay. Weird. But what does that got to do with us?
You don't appear to be working with the Wakened.
What do you know of the Wakened?
Only that they've taken control of everything.
So I take it you're not happy with this outcome.
Lots of folks seemed to think that there was some sort of great fortune afoot when that weird island showed up offshore. Then, of course, the Wakened swoop in and nobody's been there.
So let me get this straight. You're unhappy because you haven't been to this island that just showed up out of nowhere?
It's powerful, it's magical,
Okay.
and the Wakened weren't here before it.
That's interesting. What do you know of the Wakened?
Well, they appear to think awfully highly of themselves, declaring themselves the namesake of everyone who's awakened.
Yeah. Little to no experience with them, but that checks out from what I know.
You've dealt with them before then?
Very briefly. They're not nice.
Have you beaten before?
Agents of theirs.
Have you got a place to stay in town?
Not as of yet. You offering?
I might be.
And how am I to know you're not just one of their rats?
We're dire rats. Smiles.
Sorry to interrupt. Out of curiosity, is Sahin talking
Yes.
in the Matrix thing, or is she actually just
you're
targeting
getting
like
half
a
the
one-way?
conversation?
Yes!
Okay. There's probably a side conversation going between Hideyoshi and Memphis, but we won't worry about.
We can worry about that after.
Yeah.
Yeah, it appears that like the methods that have been used to kind of commandeer Kizma, and then Sahin's follow-up method of accessing,
Right.
like they're different. So yeah,
Basically, Kizma is the phone, and they're doing a conference call.
yes,
So just to clarify, to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, and our dear listener can understand, this troll lady has pulled Kizma into the astral plane,
The Matrix.
basically.
and then Sahin has plugged into Kizma via Matrix, basically?
Yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah,
And
there's
then we're hearing her via Meat Space.
Yeah, you're not hearing the other side of the conversation. Okay.
Carry on.
Can I do a, I guess, would it be a judge intentions?
Sure.
Ooh.
Insight check.
Well, my judge intentions is 8.
Okay.
Judging intentions is tight.
Oh, wow. Oh, like, super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
No, it's not. This constitutes an inconvenience all around.
Hideyoshi, who do you think she's talking to?
I don't know.
Alright, 3 hits.
Okay. You're assessing. She appears to be telling the truth. She's younger, you think, than you first assessed,
Okay.
and
More like my sister's age?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Like, yeah, pretty adolescent, and but still just
So we are going to get in with the cool young hit
beefy with
kids.
muscles. But as you're looking to her, you're gauging. She's nervous. She's probably in way over her head here. She's trying to play it just completely cool, but you're picking up beneath the surface is like, yeah, no, something's got her spooked.
It's my breakfast
So-
driving.
Beyond checking out the competition, because, sure, that makes a certain amount of sense, but there's got to be more to this abduction of. And I gesture to Kizma.
We haven't abducted no one. We merely
But I
knocked
think
on
to-
the door and she didn't know how to keep it closed.
My brothers and I can work on that. And,
I've literally been here for less than an hour.
okay, that kind of talk? Shut your mouth. And if she doesn't shut up,
I bet she's talking to Kizma right there.
Yeah. And to be fair, I don't know. Based on what Keesman's already said so far, I think Keesman's probably freaking out as much as we were the first time.
Right, yeah.
So maybe
So it's good to know that at least we're normal.
And you guys are not hearing Kizma at all.
We're not
Right.
hearing Kizma,
No, we're just hearing
and you're
you
not
talking.
hearing us.
Am I hearing them or no?
No.
I bet she is, Reggie.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, well, true, yeah.
Reggie didn't have.
Well-
Reggie wasn't this put together.
Or is he? And he's just pulling us along.
I'd like to offer you a proposition. We'll help you with Awakened.
And
We need a place to stay.
then it seems we have something to offer each other. So I'll be sending you a set of coordinates.
And just give her a little help.
With
She's
what?
kind of new to this whole. And I gesture.
She's heavily modified.
She's a little.
She spent too long in some of these places, eh?
I think so, maybe.
Just what? What? From Kizma.
I just shove her back.
Well then, you'll be heading to these coordinates, and if you start getting close and I see any sign of awakened activity, well, they have ways of dealing with double crossers.
Understood.
Your image just shimmers and fades.
And I look to Kizma. You know how to get out of here? And I unjack.
You pull off the visor and unjack, and
So, what's going on?
okay, barely. But a few seconds later, Kizma, her eyes blink, and she comes back to herself.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I mean, I tried my best to help, just saying, but,
Why are we still here? We haven't gone anywhere?
well,
You want to know something? When you disappeared out of nowhere? Okay,
She's like-
your brain, whatever, your consciousness, I'm not sure how this works. But when you went bye-bye behind the eyes, we decided it wasn't safe to go anywhere. We didn't know what it meant.
You guys are supposed to be the pros.
Okay, lady, we have been to
next to
Victorian England.
Oh, yeah.
We have
Did not
been
like that place.
to a rural Rokugan, wherever that is, but it's definitely not technology.
You've been to 300% more places than I have.
England. That's where you were from.
And
yes, but this is...
Missy, we do not know technology. So don't give me this, we're the experts, we're learning this as much as you are, and do not yell at me for it.
I'd like to use my my influence etiquette to kindly exit and give them to a moment.
How are you exiting?
I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check the car. Be right back, and then just hop out.
We're in the car.
I know. And
I'm
go
not,
check-
I'm not in
I
the
know.
car.
I know. I just, it's the first thing he came up with, and then he's just gonna get out and kind of like.
Just kind of nudge the
And-
tires with your boot.
But yeah,
Yeah, and I keep giving her that look of, you need to calm down and breathe, and we'll get through this. Just
We're
stop.
supposed to calm down. We don't have a heading. We don't have
We
a...
have
So,
a
when I want to
heading.
calm down, you breathe in for 4, and you hold it for 4, you breathe out for 4.
Okay, you're not helping.
But no, that's how you. That's me.
I understand, but this is not helping. We have a heading.
Just trying to help.
Was it an orc or a troll? It was troll lady.
Mhm.
The troll lady was kind enough to give us a place to stay. We have our heading.
Maybe. She could be double-crossing us.
Let me tell you something. My insight tells me she may be younger than you, and she's in over her head. She's a little nervous. I don't think she's going to be double-crossing us on this. She wants something sorted with Awakened because they've been doing God knows what, and it's messing with the status quo here.
Fine, we go check it out, but... I don't like it.
I'm not saying we go in and pretend like everything is fine. Obviously, we're going to go in prepared for a potential trap.
Fine. I am sorry. I think I'm dealing with a lot of weird hormones right now. I think dwarves have different emotions.
Oh, this is awkward.
Are you going to get out of the car?
I really wish I had now.
Let's just go. Let's just go.
It's going to be okay, Kizma.
Fine.
I know it's not great now, and honestly, yeah, like as excited as I was to go and do what I've always dreamed of doing, it's okay to not be okay.
We were here for 2 seconds and somebody was trying to hit us with sharp things. And
If you
Par
did
for the
your
course.
research, you would know that this is not an easy place.
okay. Let's go find a place to stay or die.
And what were do I have the coordinates?
Yes, the coordinates have come through on the visor.
On the visor, not connected to Kizma.
She does hold her hand up for it at this point.
I hand it to her. It's like, does it work?
Yes.
For you right now.
Puts it on. Yes.
Okay, good. Wasn't sure.
Just,
It works for me now. And I have this little smirk on my face.
Just glares at you. Feel it through the
Mint
visor.
this.
You feel her glaring at
Drive.
Well,
And we
outside
drive.
the car.
I knocked on the window.
Oh, okay.
Get back in.
you. You knock on the window and it falls apart.
Window?
I go hop in the car and just quietly over to Kiva.
And we talk about the fact that I let you guys know what the conversation was and my assessment.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Let's go unprepared for in case of incasity.
Yeah.
Right. Kizma, where am I going?
She punches in the coordinates in your GPS console unit, and you have your next destination.
On the way there, if she will listen to me, I will tell Kizma the story of my first appearance outside the lodge.
She listens. There's a faint snickering now and then.
I suppress my ogre orc feelings and keep telling the story and say at least someone has a laugh at this. But hopefully she gets a little better understanding of how things work, and that sometimes start off in a bad position, but then it gets
You win some,
slightly
you lose
less
some.
sucky.
It gets better, kid.
I don't mention anything about my first time because it wasn't actually that bad.
That's great.
Took us a late road.
All
Yeah.
right.
Good friend.
You drive off through the rainy streets of Lamdan and
Oh, no. I tell them about the
Londinium.
Londinium.
All right.
That makes a lot. Seems like it has fewer letters.
So wait a minute. It is kind of like where my dad's from, but like longer word-wise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I was watching-
I'm just telling you what I heard.
You make for your next destination.
Londinium.
No immediate problems assail
Do
you.
we need to roll any piloting checks at all?
We'll pick it up next time on Tim Portalers. And yeah, I did not even mean to do the internet troll thing. That was not deliberate. Anyway.
I mean, that could be your title.
Somehow, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. So yeah, we'll pick this up next time on Tim Portalers.
Goodbye.
Thanks for checking out our show. If you want to learn more about us, follow us at Tim Portlers on Twitter, or you can email us directly at tim.portlers@gmail.com.